Coach, this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between Madden and Charles Davis.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And they are in rhythm on offense because of him. I mean, right now, he's got everything going the way he wants to, finding the receivers the way he wants to, looking over defenses. No interceptions is the number I lock in on. Before a touchdown pass isn't so bad either.
Yeah, what a game he had last week.
180. I know he ain't got it. Check four. I got it.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 2.
Set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 5 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
That's how we do it.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Let's go.
And to give this time to the tailback. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 17 carries, 136 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you lead the league in rushing for this stretch of time, now you take on the identity. You now lead the team, and everything runs through you in terms of offense.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be. Right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Pass interference, defense.
So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Check. Watch 54. Man, I got you.
3 yards on the tuck and run.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him. And he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Forced out to his left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point attempt to come here. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. And they will
first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Here's Johnson on 1st and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jerk.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Falcons push further out in front. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand and making that happen? I don't know if it gets much better than what we just saw there.
Let's go!
The Browns drive about to get started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now the 2nd down throw on target. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
180! Point it right, point it right, point it right.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Mayfield down. And his throw here is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. On third down, here's Hunt. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. So here are the Falcons to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Myles Garrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Myles Garrett in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. A chance for us here to discuss Jarvis Landry. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. From the 45 on 2nd down, Mayfield. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. A first down throw from Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Mayfield gives this one to Hunt. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at one 48-yard line and ended at the other. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And some room to maneuver. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 45 yards on the ground. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, second and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get a second touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a second. Back to throw. Johnson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Looking to throw. Johnson. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. From 13 yards out. And the Falcons push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring one.
Here's Mayfield. He's got his man on the crossing route. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. Now a handoff here to his running back. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Back to throw. Johnson rolling to his right. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. And give him a gain of 37.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. From 4 yards out. And the Falcons push further out in front.
Previous play is under review.
A try here for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Hunt. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Throwing, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it, they do.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there.
It puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Looking to throw. Johnson on its poke 3. Football's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 18.
Double tight.
And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
Johnson now to throw on third down. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On fourth down, Mike Vrabel says, let's get 3 out of this. He sends on the field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And their lead will swell up to 28. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
180! 6 man. Check curls, check curls, check curls.
Now Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Mayfield now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. That one is caught by Hunt. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Mayfield looks to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the ball comes loose, and the Falcons grab it. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is going to be brought back at It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Accelerating, and off he goes. 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
And to give this time to the tailback. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And some space here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Finds his tight end Ingram. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And this is caught at the 8. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal.
Now Johnson from the gun, he'll throw and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. The Browns drive about to get started. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. Yeah.
Up and up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to back. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face?